In a peaceful village, there lived a boy named Elon. He was intelligent, hardworking, and had big dreams. But there was one major problem. His mind was never stable. He was constantly lost in unnecessary thoughts. Whether he was studying, working, or even talking to someone, his mind would drift away into useless fantasies, overthinking, and daydreaming. His parents and teachers often told him to focus, but he couldn't control his wandering mind. He would start studying, but soon find himself thinking about imaginary stories, past mistakes, or random worries about the future. One day during his school exams, Elon faced the worst moment of his life. As he sat with his answer sheet, his mind was blank. He had studied everything, but he couldn't focus. He spent more time thinking about unrelated things than answering the questions. When the results came, he had failed in 2 subjects. His teachers were disappointed. His friends felt bad for him, and his parents were deeply worried. That night, Elon sat alone in his room, feeling helpless. He knew he had the potential to succeed, but his thoughts controlled him instead of him controlling his thoughts. That evening, his grandfather, an old and wise man, saw him sitting quietly and asked, "What's wrong, Elon?" With tears in his eyes, Elon replied, "Grandpa, no matter how hard I try, my mind keeps running in different directions. I want to focus, but wasteful thoughts don't let me." His grandfather smiled and said, "Come with me. I will tell you something important." He took Elon to the backyard where there was a large empty pot. He handed Elon a cup of dirty water and said, "Pour this into the pot." Elon did as he was told. Then his grandfather gave him a jug of clean water and said, "Now pour this water into the pot until the dirt is gone." Elon kept pouring clean water. Slowly the dirty water was pushed out, and the pot was filled with fresh, clear water. His grandfather then said, "Your mind is like this pot. If you keep filling it with wasteful thoughts, it will become polluted. But if you pour in good, meaningful thoughts, the wasteful ones will be washed away." Elon thought for a moment and asked, "But Grandpa, how do I replace my wasteful thoughts with good ones?" His grandfather smiled and said, "Let me tell you a story that will help you understand. Long ago in a kingdom, there was a young warrior named Veer. He was strong and talented, but he had one major flaw. He doubted himself too much. Before every battle, he thought, "What if I lose? What if my opponent is stronger? What if people laugh at me?" Because of these thoughts, he always hesitated. He lost small battles, avoided challenges, and slowly his confidence faded. One day, an old monk saw Veer sitting alone thinking deeply. The monk asked, "What troubles you, young warrior?" Veer replied, "My own thoughts are my enemy. They make me weak before the battle even begins." The monk smiled and handed him a cup. It was half filled with water. The monk then gave him a handful of salt and said, "Drop this salt into the cup and drink the water." Veer did as he was told, but immediately spat the water out. It was too salty. The monk then took him to a lake and told him to drop the same amount of salt into the lake. Then he asked Veer to take a sip. This time the water tasted fresh. The monk said, "The amount of salt was the same, but the difference was in the size of the container. If your mind is small, even a little negativity will ruin it. But if you make your mind vast like a lake, no negativity will affect you." Veer understood the lesson. He stopped focusing on doubts and filled his mind with courage. He started practicing with full dedication, and soon he became one of the greatest warriors of his kingdom. Hearing the story, Elon was deep in thought. He finally realized what he had been doing wrong. "I keep my mind small, and that's why wasteful thoughts take over so easily." If I start filling my mind with focus, discipline, and positive thoughts, the wasteful ones will disappear. His grandfather nodded and said, "Exactly. The mind is a powerful tool. If you don't control it, it will control you. But if you train it with the right thoughts, it will become your greatest strength." That night, Elon made a decision. He would no longer let wasteful thought control him. He started following a strict routine. He practiced mindfulness and meditation to calm his mind. He avoided distractions and unnecessary overthinking. He started reading inspiring books and keeping himself engaged in productive tasks. Whenever a wasteful thought entered his mind, he replaced it with a useful one. His focus improved. His studies became better. His confidence increased. And in the next exams, he scored the highest in his class. Years later, Elon became a great scientist, inspiring others to train their minds. Whenever people asked him, "How did you overcome wasteful thoughts?" he would smile and say, "Your mind is a pot. Fill it with good thoughts, and there will be no space for wasteful ones." The mind is like water. It takes the shape of whatever we fill it with. If we allow wasteful thoughts, they will take over. But if we fill it with focus, positivity, and discipline, success will naturally follow.